Hello, and welcome to At Home with Lucas. So today we're going to be talking about Fitbit, and in particular we're going to talk about their Inspire 2. Now this is their budget-friendly Fitbit watch, and in this review we're going to figure out, did they cut too many corners? Did they actually make this watch junk? Or is it something that everyone should use and it's the best budget fitness tracker on the planet? We won't know until the very end of this video. So in this video, we're gonna be doing hands-on with the box, quick unboxing and first impressions on said Fitbit watch. After that, I'm gonna be putting this to the At Home with Lucas test, so you know that I did my work, so you don't have to waste your time buying and returning said Fitbit. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy right quick. So at the top, you have Fitbit Racha, image of what's to come in the box. This is, of course, the Inspire 2 fitness tracker plus heart rate. Includes 1-year premium trial. That's very interesting. I've never signed up for anything with Fitbit to do with a premium trial. I remember back in the day when they used to give you that stuff free built into the watch. Now they make you pay for it. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Here's a little bit more about that premium trial. All right, take a look at the side, bunch of nonsense. Take a look at the bottom, more nonsense. All right, let's get into this, people. Love their little clickety clacks right here. So nice. All right, take a look at the quick start guide. Of course, you have to download the app. You can download the app on a Windows computer, by the way. So if you're someone who does not have a smartphone and you kind of want to be using this thing as a standalone watch, you can also download it onto your Windows PC and then do all the transferring and the syncing once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do. So no big deal. You do not have to have a smartphone. So here's a little bit more. Take a look at the back. This thing opens up. All right. There is the watch itself, looking all simple. I love the way Fitbit does their boxings? The way they box their stuff in 2021, 2022. Is that a little bit more information? Yeah, a little bit more information. They are really making sure you understand that you need to download their app. Okay, so let's take a look at the proprietary charger. Oh, and the band comes with it. Very interesting. So there is the I'm guessing large band. Let's see. Yes, L/G. Okay, put that aside. So this is the exact same charger as the Ace 3, the kids edition, the special edition that I just reviewed on this channel. I'll link that down below as well. That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen a Fitbit, especially when you have a Inspire and then an Ace. They're two different models, yet same charger. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. All right, let's take a look at the creme de la creme Inspire 2, people. Okay, so it has the exact same button layout as the kids edition. It looks like the screen is just a little bit bigger. It looks like the whole Fitbit is a little bit beefier. It's a little bit thicker, and it definitely feels heavier. The band and the Fitbit itself feels a little bit heavier, so that's really cool. That means it's probably got a little bit more packed into it than the Ace 3, but I did hear a lot of people online trying to figure out how to use the Ace 3 for adults as a daily driver Fitbit and save that money, people. Okay, so the front glass, I'm guessing maybe this is some kind of plastic. It's looking really premium. It kind of hides the fact that the screen is only just a little bit of the front of this. So once again, Fitbit is just putting a small display inside of this giant case around it, basically so it'd fit on your wrist and be more comfortable than something that is only 1.5 inches tall. That would be very weird and annoying on your wrist. Also, they have to pack in the battery and all the heart rate sensors in there. So all right, let's take a look at the band itself. It's feeling extremely soft touch. This is probably the most soft touch band I've ever felt, and that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. It feels like it's going to hug your wrist and not really annoy the wrist, and it also feels like it's going to deal with sweat really well. So That is awesome. Okay, so it comes with the large, and then this one that's on it is the small petite. Let's see if I can't take off these watch bands. There we go. So I just pulled on it a little bit like that. There it is. Just slides right in. Really, really simple. And then that comes off of there. And we'll pull on this one. And then that comes off of there. So this is your basic bit, and then of course you are the one who's getting fit. So this is the bit. This is where all the information is stored, all the sensors are held, and this is basically what you're spending your $70 to $100 on. And when I look at it, I say I would not spend $100 on this thing. It is very, very minimal, and it's looking like the display is also going to be black and white. But if you compare this to the Sense, which is right here on my wrist, the battery's almost dead, so it doesn't want to do its always on display. If you compare this one to my Sense, this thing is $300+. This thing is $69 right now on Amazon, December 2021. So they have to cut corners. They have to do a lot of things to drop that price all the way down. They can't put in a full color display. They can't put in all of the real estate of the device. They can't cover the whole screen. So they're cutting corners and cutting corners and cutting corners. But one thing I do know about Fitbit is you're going to get a good heart rate sensor. You're going to get a good set of sensors that are in here, and you're going to be happy that you bought the Fitbit over another cheaper device. So Fitbit has a good pedometer. They have all their sensors are phenomenal. All right, I'm just going to do a quick snap on and see how easy it is to get this thing back on. So it's not just snapping right in. So that's interesting. So I'm going to have to put in a little bit more work than my Sense. My Sense is very, very simple. You literally just snap it in. So it looks like you have to line up one pin and then push this in, and then it locks into place. Okay, so that's a little bit more like a traditional watch, which is interesting because my Fitbit Sense right here literally just has a snap in, and then you push something and it snaps out. So they may say that's because this is a smaller, cheaper watch, and this is the only way to keep it completely locked in for the price that you're paying, or they may say this is actually more superior because you have metal locking pins that are slotting into a little slot, and then you push on there. Wow, okay, so it actually does go in really, really easily. All right, let's put this on my wrist and see how it feels. I'm gonna put this on my right wrist. I am a lefty, so when it comes to watches, that's how I typically roll. Wow, that actually went on really easily. I struggled so hard with the Kids Edition Ace. Okay, so that feels really comfortable on the wrist. It feels like it's going to stay right past the ball of my wrist right here. It feels like it's going to stay right in the sweet spot, and I'm not going to have to worry about it moving around. This is a little bit thicker than I would have liked, but nonetheless it feels like it's going to get some good monitoring. Little side-by-side comparison on my wrists. Let's go ahead and do that. So there you go. That's a quick side-by-side of the Fitbit Sense and the Inspire 2. So it's by no means is it an ugly looking watch. It actually looks kind of cool. I like the simplicity of it. I like how the front just kind of looks like it's an entire display. It's nice and glossy, and it really has a good band. This is a phenomenal band. That's actually made out of plastic. And the funny thing about Fitbit is this is not the original Fitbit band. I bought a third-party band, and this is so much better in terms of how well it fits on my wrist, and this is not stretching out over time. The Fitbit band that I had on here was stretching out over time, and it was really, really annoying. Plus, I really needed an in-between setting, so I needed like a half. So I needed like 1.5, but it would only allow me to go to 2. This one seems to work perfectly. So far, this feels really snug on my wrist and very, very comfortable. I can move it around, and I'm not really getting any sort of like jagged stabbing feeling in on my wrist at all. All right, coming up, we're gonna see just how well this thing performs. Woo! Hey, what's up guys? I want to talk about a sponsor that I have for this channel. Don Pablo Coffee. Yes, people, Don Pablo makes an amazing variety of coffee. I actually went down to Miami, Florida and modeled for his bourbon infused coffee. Yes, people, they have bourbon infused coffee. This is coffee for the people who don't even like to drink coffee. This is coffee for people who love to drink coffee but are bored of the normal coffees. They have single serve bourbon infused coffee. They have whole bean bourbon infused coffee, not to mention all the other varieties they have. They are a small batch coffee roaster. Now you're probably thinking, what does that mean? What does it mean? I'm gonna tell you, a small batch means you're gonna get a fresher bean. Yes, people, everything they roast is roasted smaller, which means you're getting a fresher batch. All the other companies roast in ginormous roasting contraptions, and that means you're getting it less of a fresh batch. So click the link down below, go buy some amazing coffee, and let's get back to the video. Yeah, I was actually really impressed at how responsive this thing is. When you turn your wrist, it really comes on, and it takes a second to register that your wrist is turned, so I would imagine it's not going to come on as easily as some of the other watches out there that deal with this kind of accelerometer action. So I was very impressed with this. It's very cool, and then also you can see the viewing angles are pretty good on this thing. So when you're in good lighting, not too bright, not too dim, you're going to get some good viewing angles of your timepiece right here. So that's really cool also. All right, I'm fully suited up and ready to go on a cold run. I'm gonna be putting this Fitbit to the test, people. So this is gonna be testing for calorie burn, heart rate, and whatnot that's gonna happen during the run. I am gonna be comparing it directly to my Fitbit Sense that I have on my left wrist. This is on my right. So this is gonna give us a good understanding of how well this one functions compared to the known Fitbit Sense that I've been using for almost a year now. So let's jump into it. All right, so just finished a good run. Definitely broke a sweat. The Fitbit performed as I would want it to in terms of tracking the amount of miles and steps. Very accurate to my Sense. Definitely similar heart rate. It might be a little bit off. The one biggest problem is this display. It does not have enough brightness at all to show you anything in full sun. So I was in full sun and I was looking down at my watch and I could not read hardly anything about what was going on. And then of course I look at my Fitbit Sense and I could see everything because it's colored. So take that into consideration if you're looking to buy this for outdoor running or cycling or anything where you're outdoors and you're out in full sun. It's going to be absolutely terrible. You're not going to be able to read the screen unless you get it really close to your face. Then you might be able to read it. But when I was running and trying to casually look down at it, I couldn't read it at all. So that is a big thumbs down for me. And that's one of the bigger problems with the size of the display being so small and the fact that it's black and white. So it passed the run test because it did all the things it was supposed to do, pick up on all of my mileage and everything, calorie burn, but it failed in the sense that it was not visible in full sun. All right, I'm going to be doing the at-home portion of this. I'm going to be doing a 6-4-5 workout. I got my Fitbit and it's going to be doing all the fitness testing. Also, I have my Fitbit Sense. Let's jump into the workout. Woo! Okay, I just finished the workout. The Fitbit watch was definitely a little bit high compared to my Fitbit Sense. It was just a little bit off. The heart rate was up a little bit higher than my Sense, and the calorie burn was definitely up higher, but it was close enough that it definitely passed the workout test, just not the greatest. Okay, so I've been using this Fitbit long enough that I think I have a full comprehensive review for you guys, and I think the basis is this is a great budget Fitbit. This is a great starter Fitbit. This is a great minimalist Fitbit. If you understand what this thing is, you're gonna love it. But if you're going into this thinking this is gonna be a Fitbit Sense, but smaller, It's not. It really isn't. But it is, because it has the same heart rate monitor, it has the same pedometer, it has the same functionalities to a certain extent, but in a smaller, cheaper package. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. So the first limitation is actually in the exercise mode. When you go into the exercise mode, you only have a preset amount of exercises to choose from, and as you can see here, there's not a lot. And one of them they don't have is workout mode, which is very strange. They have interval workouts, but that wants you to stop and then start and then stop and start. The one I found that worked for workouts at home is the weights. This does basically what the workout mode on here does, but in a very small way. I really like the way that it shows you all the information in a pretty bold way. So when you flick your wrist up, it's going to show you. The thing about this is it doesn't have always on mode. So this is not going to stay on the entire time. You will have to constantly turn your wrist and it'll fire back up. So once you understand all the limitations of this watch, you're going to understand that this thing is actually really nice. It does have Tile built in, so if you're in the Tile ecosystem right now, this thing's going to be really great for you. All you have to do is add it to your Tile app, or if you have an Echo at home, you can tell it to find a Tile device and it will find it, and then it will activate. So that is really, really cool. If you lose this around the house, you'll be able to find it. Of course, if you're paying for the ecosystem that Tile is, you'll be able to go out in the wild and find it as well. So let's talk about the watch face. So the watch face is also very limited. I found that there's only about 8 to 10 of these watch faces, and they're all very similar. You get a big bold clock on the front, and then you have the ability to tap through, or you get a tiny clock and a bunch of stats. But I found that the stat heavy one was just it was poorly designed and it didn't look good at all. So this thing is definitely not for the, it's not a looker, people. It's not something that people are going to go, wow, look at that watch. It's not going to function in a way where you're like, man, I love this watch, but it's going to do its job, and that's the most important thing. The pedometer I found to be decent. I think it was a little bit higher than my Sense by a smidge, but the thing that was funny, at the end of the day, the calorie burn, the step count was very comparable to my Fitbit Sense, so that's something to take note of. This thing is very comparable to a more expensive Fitbit at a very budget price. And then the other thing is that you have to go through so many different menus, and you have to do a lot of tapping. So this is a device that you're going to have to put the work in. Okay, let's talk about the pinch and hold function. So if you pinch and hold, you're going to get into this ability to lock this display. So if you're going swimming or you're going in the bathtub or a hot tub, whatever, you can actually lock the display so the water won't cause it to go haywire. So that's pretty cool, pretty standard on these things. Then you have the ability to turn on and off sleep mode really fast, which is very nice. I like that feature. And then you have the ability to turn off the screen wake, so that means when you flip your wrist around, it won't turn on, which is great for when you're sleeping. So that's pretty cool. Big con, when you go out in full sunlight like I did during my run, I'm not kidding you, it was impossible to see this display. It was gone. And I'm talking like doing a glance from like 3 feet away, maybe 2.5 feet, 3 feet, you couldn't read this display in full sunlight. So if you're someone who's outside in full sunlight a lot and you need to look at the time a lot, this is probably one you should skip. When you're dealing with color, it's so much easier to see this outside. When I was running, I couldn't see this one. I flipped this around and I could see exactly what was going on with my run very easily. So the fact that this is black and white, I really hope that the next version of this, the third version, I hope they make it color and just make a commitment, Fitbit. Just make all your devices color screens, even if they're small. With the color, it's going to give so much more depth and ability to read what's on the screen. So I highly recommend that they do that. Battery life was actually phenomenal. I was blown away. It's definitely better than my Sense, that's for sure. And that's because it's not really doing a whole heck of a lot in terms of the display, but it is doing a lot of monitoring down below. So the monitoring, like I said, is very good. The watch band is absolutely amazing, so comfortable. But that's kind of where this watch sits. It sits in a place where it's really inexpensive compared to other Fitbits. and it is lacking a lot. But if you understand that and you go into it going, okay, I understand that I'm not getting the best display. I understand that I'm not getting the best menu setup. I understand that, you know, my options are limited, but you're gonna still be able to track your steps, calorie burn, miles. It's gonna do all that stuff for you, which is a great thing to have. And at the price that it's at, that's phenomenal. That's a great way to get into the Fitbit ecosystem. And once you do get into the Fitbit ecosystem, you're going to be able to then say, okay, I'll spend, you know, $100 more and buy the charge. And then you may work your way up to one of their more premium watches like the Fitbit Sense, or you may just continue to buy this watch. If you're looking for something very minimal that you can sleep in, this is going to be the one for you. So yeah, all in all, I'm going to say for a budget fitness tracker, I'm going to give this a 4.8 star rating. But for a Fitbit, I'm going to give it a 4.2 star rating. I'm going to say that it's just, you know, it's lacking so many different things to make it 5 stars for Fitbit. I wish it had a color display. I wish it had a better menu system. Maybe they could retool the whole thing. I don't know. But yeah, so it's a solid buy if you know what you're getting your hands on. If you're buying this for someone young, they're probably going to be like, that's cool. You know, they'll put it on. Yeah, I'm going to recommend this to anyone out there. I'm going to say it's a great holiday gift. It's a great stocking stuffer. It's a great last minute, I don't know what to buy someone, I'm going to buy them this. And of course, you know, they can trade it up and get something better in the future if they find that they like the Fitbit ecosystem. When I got into Fitbit in 2017, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and it wasn't the best. I will admit that my first Fitbit was not the best watch out there, but Fitbit has come a long way and is so much better now than it was back then. The Fitbit Sense, of course, is my highest recommendation. Truly 5-star fitness tracker and smartwatch. It's improved so much over the past few months in terms of what I can do with it, and it has this bright, vivid display that you can see on the brightest of days. And this one is just a very simple, very mediocre fitness tracker that does its job very well. So you're going to not worry about all of the tracking and everything, but like I said many times, the display is a big downfall. But yeah, highly recommend it to everyone out there that knows what they're buying. It's definitely a good gift for this season that we're in, and for anyone who's trying to get into weight loss but doesn't know how, this could be a good start. It could be a very simple way for them to track all their metrics and understand their body just a little bit more. So yeah, definitely recommended. Buy it! All right, there you go. That's the Fitbit Inspire 2. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely click that like button. And if you want to join the At Home Lucas family and you want to be a part of this crew, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Every time I get a subscriber, I get a boost to make more and more videos. And it's because of you guys, I surpassed 3K. Yes, people, on my way to 4K, but I need your help. Yes, you right there. Tell your friends, tell your family, this guy's on YouTube. They should go subscribe and watch my channel. But as always, I thank you for watching each and every one of my videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.